I am recording this because I know it will be better. So I really wanted to cave and buy the DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
The hell is a DJI?
I've just really been wanting to like up my content.
Okay.
I've just been really wanting the DJI, but obviously the only way that I can afford it is if I do payment plans. And I didn't want to go behind, you know, my boyfriend's back because I really want to respect obviously like my own money situation, but like stuff like this also affects him. Wanted to be
You know, something I always wondered was why people chose to, I don't know, put their personal business on social media and then talk about it. But I'm slowly starting to understand why. Depending on the type of content that they do or what they're talking about, I can see why they would want to do something like this. Especially when it comes to debt, specifically when it comes to debt situations. I feel like a lot of people who are in debt, they feel like they're alone and they deserve to be there because of their decisions. That may or may not be true depending on what they did to get themselves into debt. But I think it's more like a coping mechanism and more like a feeling of not being alone. I think a lot of us can relate to not necessarily to debt, but like if you're in a situation and you want to feel as if you're not the only one, it gives you some form of reassurance that it will be okay. And I feel like that feeling is good and healthy and prevents a lot of people from making a lot of bad decisions or like fatal decisions. She also mentioned something that is really important, which is that she wanted something, what the hell did she say she wanted? Some form of device that would elevate her content creation because she's a content creator. But she's in a relationship and she also considered how her making payment plans or like putting this device on payment plans would affect him. So kudos to her to actually recognizing that that could be a thing, because there are people out there who have wives, who have husbands, who have spending issues. And because they're married or they're in a relationship, those bad decisions actually follows the partner as well, because it becomes their issue as well. I've seen videos, and I'm not joking, of wives or like husbands, but I've mostly seen wives, but I know that there are husbands too that have spending issues. But they would be in so much debt that they were hiding the fact that they're in debt from their husbands. And sometimes I'm not talking about like a small amount of debt, like $1,000, $2,000. I'm talking like 30, 60, $70,000 of debt, and they're hiding it from their partner. Which, something that confused me though is that, back to the whole oversharing or like sharing on social media, they would, I don't know, like they would share the fact that they're in debt with people on social media, which I would assume that their partner knows that they do social media because they would see them. They would share the fact that they're hiding it, but not realizing that their partner could see it. I guess the alternative is a lot worse. So they would rather share it with people online rather than they would share it with their partner so they could get out of this sticky situation. And I think the ramifications are a lot worse if they decided to tell them, because they could lead to divorce, separation, yada yada yada. So they choose to share with people online who would give them some sort of reassurance, or for people to say that, hey, I'm actually in that situation too. So that's something I noticed. I'll probably find a video of it and then react to it and then upload it, and then you will see.
Open and ask him like, you know, what do you think I should do? Obviously I gave him the reasons why I wanted the camera.
Ooh.
Yeah, the only he initially said yes, but he asked like how I would like buy the camera, and obviously like I don't have fucking $1,000, so affirm it, which is how I got into like
side note, exactly the model or the camera, but I know that camera equipment specifically, they don't really change that much over the years. So like camera from like 2015 would probably work just as well as drink my water. Anyway, a camera from 2015 will work just as well as a camera from 2022 or the latest technology, unless it's a niche, and I'm talking niche type of thing. A camera from like 10 years ago will work just as well, because the camera that I have is like a Nikon D3100, and I made it work. So I don't know what type of content she's trying to make, maybe some like videos or whatever it may be, but she doesn't need a brand new camera, like let alone like $1,000 camera. But to each their own, I guess.
This whole mess of like being in debt in the first place. It's sad, but you know,
Oh,
at the end of the day, like he's putting me in check, like of where I need to be. You know,
oh, wait. So that's why she got in debt in the first place, is because she like bought a bunch of camera stuff to like for like content creation. Oh, that's not good. I can see how that may be the case. There are YouTubers, like for example, car YouTubers. They would be upgrading a part on their car, but they don't necessarily have the money to pay for it, so they would put it on a firm or some form of like buy now pay later type of thing, and then they would use the revenue from the video to like actually make payments on the part that they bought. Sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like social media, whether it be content like car content or whatever it may be, it makes you feel as if you need to buy a whole bunch of gear to get started. You don't necessarily need that. You just need a camera, lighting, and then a good topic for people to talk about. But specifically for her debt, I think, I don't know how much she's in debt, how much interest she accrued. At the very least, she's aware that she's in the situation and there's somebody in her life that is holding her in check, so she doesn't do anything ridiculous. Because you heard that she was going to buy the camera and she talked to her boyfriend about it, and he told her like, yo, don't do that. I'm pretty sure the amount of debt that she accrued and like bought all of these gadgets, she probably has a camera already. It's just that maybe it's the feeling of wanting something new or something better, but camera gear doesn't really change that often. She seems really sad about it, and I feel like that's the sentiment for a lot of people. I don't know exactly how much she owes, but I hope that she actually gets out of this and her boyfriend will maybe help. Not that he's obligated to help her, but it would be nice to help her in this situation. Remember, I hope she gets out. I pray that she gets out and she makes better decisions in the future so that she doesn't have to cry about this online. That's it.